So what are penny stocks? I know a lot of y'all don't know, and we're gonna go all over that and go into details about everything. But before I do that, I just want to make something real clear. I'm gonna keep everything as simple as possible because I hate when people use big words just to try to confuse you and sound intelligent and sound educated and just pretty much sound more sophisticated, end up just confusing you. I hate when people do that. And stock can be a very complex topic. It can be a very sophisticated subject. So I'm going to do my best to dumb it down and make it very simple so that everybody can understand it. Because in the beginning, when I first started, it was hard for me to understand all these different terms and what this means and what that means, and it was tough. So I just wanted to make that clear and get that out there in the open right quick before we start. Because I always feared the stock market. I always was scared of it because I used to think it's too complex. It's not meant for people like me. It's not meant for people like me to understand and for me to get it. It's only meant for smart people that went to Harvard, or you know what I mean? Like people like that. I always thought that it was just too complex for me to ever understand. And that's not the truth. Anybody can learn it. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. It's actually very simple once you understand it and once somebody just breaks it down to you to where you can get it in your terms. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick before we started. Now, a penny stock is any stock that trades under $5. So what is a stock? I know some of y'all don't know what a stock is. So a stock is simply a piece of ownership in a company, to make it simple. So to understand why people would own stock in a company, you got to understand that there's two different types of companies. The first is a private company, and that's simply a company that's owned by private individuals. So for example, let's say that you start one of your companies from learning one of these businesses off I Gotta Make It, right? Let's say that you start one of your companies and you own that company. You get all the profits from it. You don't share it with nobody else. That's all yours for you. You do your own taxes. You own that company. That's a private company. Now, the second type of company is a public company. A public company is pretty much owned by the public, people like me and you. So you probably wonder, how can people like me and you own the company? How can the public own a company? And I'm going to give you an example. Let's take Apple. Since I love Apple, it's one of my favorite companies. Rest in peace, Steve Jobs, true genius, right? So let's just take Apple for example. Apple makes some of the best phones in the world and some of the best laptops. All right. But in order to make those iPhone 6s and those MacBooks, it take a lot of money. So let's say that it costs $100 million to make all the iPhones and the iPads that Apple makes, right? Now, if they were a private company, it might be hard to come up with $100 million, especially if it's just them trying to come up with the money. So what they do is offer stock in their company to the public. They sell shares of their company. They sell stocks of their company to the public to come up with the money, because it's millions and billions of people in the public that can give them the money. So it makes it a lot easier for them to raise that $100 million. So we'll just say, for the sake of this example, right? Let's say Apple needs to raise $100 million. What they will do is issue a certain amount of stocks to come up with that $100 million. So for this example, we'll say they issue 20 million stocks at $5 each. So we take 20 million times $5 for each stock. That's $100 million. And that's how they'll come up with that $100 million to build all the iPhones and MacBooks that they need to build. Now, when me and you buy these stocks at $5 each, that makes us shareholders. That's the name of the people that own the stocks in these companies. They're called shareholders. So now Apple is happy because now they got all the money that they need to make all their products. They got their $100 million that they needed, and we got the stock. Now, as a shareholder, we make money when the price of that stock goes up. So let's say, everybody is buying it now after we bought it, and the demand is going up. Everybody wants this Apple stock. They're coming out with new iPhones. It's like a hot stock. It's making everybody want it. So the more that people want it, the higher the price will go up. That's how the stock market works. The more that people demand it, the higher the demand is for it, the higher the price will go. So let's just say we bought 2,000 stocks at $5 each, right? Now, that's going to cost us $10,000. So let's just say a week later, or the next day, or a month later, or whenever. Let's just say a week later, That same stock, the same Apple stock, is cost $10 now. The price went up to $10 for each stock. So remember, we had 2,000 stocks that we bought at $5. Now those same 2,000 stocks times $10 each is going to be 20,000. So we doubled our money. That's why people buy stocks and companies, so that they can buy low and sell it high. When a person buys the stock at a low price and sells it at a high price, that's called going long. So before I teach you about short selling, which is the opposite of going long, and I'm going to teach you all about that in a second, I need to teach you what a broker is, because you need to understand what a broker is before you know how to short sell. And a broker is, to make it simple, is just a middleman. See, you can't go to knock on Apple door and just say, hey, can I buy some stock from y'all? That's not how it works. It's what's called a broker is a middleman. A broker is how you buy Apple stocks. So, for example, it's a lot of brokers. It's like E-Trade, Scottrade, TD Ameritrade, Interactive Brokers, and SureTrader is the best one. And I'm going to teach you why SureTrader is the best one later. But to make it simple, a broker is simply just the place where you go to buy your stocks. So, for example, if you wanted to buy $50 of Apple stock, you would go online. Let's just say, for example, E-Trade. You will go to etrade.com, go there, and then that's where you will buy your stocks. So, just to keep it simple. Now, in order to short sell stocks, which is the opposite of going long, remember I told you, going long is buying low and selling high. Now, short selling is the opposite of that. Short selling is when you make money when the price goes down. And most people don't even know that you can make money on a stock when the price goes down. They think you can only make money when you buy it low and then sell it high. Well, it's a whole nother way to make money off of stocks, and that's called short selling. And that's how I made my first $10,000 in the stock market, was by short selling. And the way that it works is that you bet against companies. You bet that they're going to fail. You betting that the price is going to go down. And the reason that you bet against these companies is because, excuse my language, but they shitty companies. Penny stocks is not good companies most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So when you betting against this company, you betting that it will fail and that the price of it will go down. And the reason that you do this is because most of these stocks are promoted. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that a nightclub, right? In order for them to make money, they got to have promoters. They need to have promoters to tell people on Facebook, on Twitter and all that, hey, come out to this club. Everybody come out. If they don't have promoters telling people to come to this club, then nobody will come. So these promoters, they get everybody out. They spread the word out. They get everybody to come to this club. This club is popping. Everything is going good. Everybody's coming out, right? So now what happens when these promoters stop promoting this club? Nobody's going to come there no more. And then what's going to happen? They're not going to make, that club is not going to be making no more money, right? Same thing with stocks. Companies pay promoters to promote their stock. And when they promote their stock, that makes the price of that stock go way high. You see what I'm saying? It makes the price of that stock go real high. And then when these promoters stop promoting that stock, the price goes way low. And that's when we make money, because it's pretty much predictable every time. Once you understand how it works, it's predictable. It's two different types of people in the stock market. There's smart people, then there's dumb people. The dumb people, they buy that penny stock when it gets promoted. They buy it because they want to get rich quick. And they don't know that no better. They just want to try to, make a lot of money real fast. So they buy into that promotion.